Hey Leo, welcome to Sweet Tea Astrology and Tarot. My name is Erica. Welcome to the channel. So glad that you found me. This is your February 2017 astrology video where I'm also going to pull some tarot cards and some oracle cards for you. But first, why don't you sit a spell so we can talk about the stars? Because honey, there's a lot going on for you. Alright. February 3rd or 4th, depending on where you live on the planet, we have Venus, the planet of love, beauty, harmony, money, and resources as well, moving into Aries, joining up with Mars and Uranus. This is in your 9th house, Leo. The 9th house is ruled by Sagittarius, and I like to think of the 9th house as your worldview expanded through study or travel. This covers higher education, long-distance trips. It covers the study of religion and philosophy, astrology. It covers the study of foreign languages, legal system matters, and political matters. It governs foreign people, foreign places, and foreign things. Venus moving into the 9th house could mean that there might be a very serious attraction in school, higher education-wise, while you are traveling on a long-distance trip, or you may be attracted to someone who is foreign to you or from a foreign land. Now, on the 7th or 8th of the month, we've got Mercury, the planet of thought, movement, and communication, moving into your 7th house. The 7th house, well, Mercury is going to be meeting up with the Sun as well. And this going on in the 7th house, the 7th house is ruled by Libra. It's the house of your partnerships and your relationships and how you identify who you are through those interactions with those other people in your world. Mercury moving into the 7th house with the Sun being here could be that you are receiving a lot of information or a lot of communication from individuals that you have these partnerships or relationships with. Now, if it's not that, you could be dealing also with some counseling. And if it's not that, it might be dealing with open enemies as well. You could be getting messages from people who you consider to be an open enemy. That would be someone you would testify against in a court of law, or someone who you have an open beef with. Or I also see it as arguing with someone in an online forum where other people can witness it, see it, interact with it, and digest it as it's occurring as well. Now, Leo, I said there was a lot going on, and this is where it starts for you. On the 10th or 11th of February, depending on where you live on the planet, we are going to be experiencing a lunar eclipse at 22 degrees of Leo. This is your first house. The first house is ruled by Aries. It's the house that I like to think of as the physical embodiment of who you are and how the world sees you. It deals with your personality, your physical body, and your appearance. It's the house of self, the house of you. The Sabian symbol associated with this lunar eclipse at 22 degrees of Leo is, in a circus, the bareback rider displays her dangerous skill. And when I meditated on this, before I get to that, the Sabian symbols are used to represent 0 to 30 degrees of each zodiac sign of the astrological wheel, and they were created by a clairvoyant psychic named Elsie Wheeler. Now, when I meditated on the Sabian symbol for 22 degrees of Leo, I thought about the actual visualization of what was being spoke of, a bareback rider displaying her skill. And it's a dangerous skill to try to ride a horse bareback. You have to have a lot of grace and poise and strength and athletic skill. You have to have some serious cojones to do something like that. You have to have, you honestly have to become one with that animal. And there's a synchronicity in between the two Sabian symbols for the eclipses for this February eclipse season. And it's dealing with horses, and I think that that speaks to the Saturn in Sagittarius squaring Neptune in Pisces that occurred all throughout 2016. that really gave a lot of people a lot of problems. A lot of people dealing with depression and suicide, a lot of addiction issues, a lot of misinformation, a lot of illusion, a lot of imagination, very nebulous, issues with water, flooding, just all kinds of things. But this lunar eclipse occurring in the first house, it's going to be something you can't ignore. And it is going to probably feel very powerful, and it may affect you on a very personal level. You're going to see something in a different light. Now, on the 18th or 19th of the month, depending on where you live on the planet, the sun is moving into Pisces, meeting up with the planet Neptune. This is in your 8th house, Leo. The 8th house is ruled by Scorpio. It's the house of life, death, and rebirth, that entire life cycle. It's the house of your instincts, primal, basic, or human. It's the house of sexuality, regeneration, transformation, and metamorphosis. It's the house of other people's money. There's a lot of 8th house energy from here on out throughout the rest of the month, Leo. On the 25th or 26th of the month, depending on where you live on the planet, we will be experiencing a solar eclipse at 8 degrees of Pisces, and this will be very heavily Neptunian influenced in the 8th house. 8th house dealing with life, death, and rebirth. All of those cycles, transformation, metamorphosis, regeneration, other people's money, sexuality. The Sabian symbol associated with the 8 degrees of Pisces solar eclipse reads, a jockey spurs his horse, intent on outdistancing his rivals. And once again, it takes strength, poise, tenacity, athleticism, practice, skill, determination, willfulness to ride a horse and steer it in the manner you want it to go, to be able to win a race, to be able to display your skill, once again becoming one with that animal. I really feel like is a metaphor to that Saturn square Neptune, looking at the bigger theme. Now, the final thing that I want to speak about for you, Leo, is we've got Mercury, the planet of thought, movement, and communication, moving into Pisces. And this is going to meet up with the Sun and Neptune, once again in the 8th house. Lots of 8th house energy, other people's money, regeneration, transformation, metamorphosis, sexuality, instincts, primal, basic, or human. The cycles of life, death, and rebirth as well. It could be that you are getting news of a birth, or you are getting news of some money coming to you from an avenue you weren't expecting. You could be dealing with communication about sexuality in some way. It really depends. But those are the themes and the areas of life that will be playing out for you in February. One other mention that I want to give to you before I transition over to the cards is that you, if I were you, I would take stock of what is going on at the beginning of February. And I say that because Venus will be going retrograde in Aries back into Pisces and then move back into Aries. So Venus is going to re-examine this area that you're in, that she's in right now, that 9th house of your worldview expanded through study or travel. So what I'm going to do now for my Leos is transition to the cards. I'm going to pull an oracle card for you from the Sage Goddess Gemstone Oracle deck. I'm also going to pull a card from the Sacred Rebels Oracle deck by Elena Fairchild. The artwork is by Autumn Sky Morrison, and it's a real fan favorite of many of my viewers of the channel. So Leo, let's get this shuffle on. I want to take this time right now to indicate that if the messages that you receive in this video are not resonant for you, that's perfectly fine. You are more than just a Leo. But the fact, if you have a Leo rising or a Leo sun or a Leo moon, that eclipse is something you're going to feel regardless. We all are, in whatever house it's happening for us. But you are more than just a Leo, my dear Leo. You have a piece of each zodiac sign in you because we each have 12 houses in our chart represented by each of the signs. Some energies more stronger than others depending on aspects, etc., etc. But what I'm trying to get to is not every Leo reading is going to resonate for every Leo out there. It's just the reality of it. So I invite you to check your moon and rising sign videos. If you don't know what your moon and rising sign are, I invite you to Google the words free natal birth chart. Fill it out with your birth time and birthplace. Be accurate with it because it is a representation of who you are and the energies that you were born under and the influences that you were born under. If you don't know those placements, you can send a screenshot to me at sweetteastro@gmail.com. And I will do my best to give you your moon and rising placements, as I feel as though it is something that every person should know about themselves. Not just so you can watch my videos, but any astrologers, Western astrologers videos, to where the messages will be resonant for you. It's just how I operate. I'm going to shuffle for you now, Leo. Don't fear the eclipses because you've got a lunar eclipse in February and a solar eclipse in September, I think. It's the fall eclipses. So about 6 months from February. So that August, September, somewhere in there. But yeah, don't fear them. Just adopt a mentality of growth. So what I'm going to do is take the bottom card to represent the underlying energy, or the overarching energy, however you choose to see it, for this reading. The top 3 for clarity. Now, let's get the Sacred Rebels Oracle deck and grab a card for my Leo friends. And finally, from the Sage Goddess Gemstone Oracle deck, for my lovely Leo friends and viewers. All right. Okay, Leo. Now what I'm going to do is take a pause for the cause, flip these cards over to the tarot math, and I'll be right back with your story. Hang tight, y'all. Hi, Leo. I'm back with your cards, so let's get started. The underlying theme or overarching energy for this spread is the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups is a younger, more immature energy of someone who is on their way to being emotionally intelligent, but it could also indicate that they are moody or possibly dealing with... I can't help but when I see this card to think of that song, Shot, 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 Shots. Literally, like, what I think of is like, I just turned 21 and it's my birthday. Woo! That's literally what I think of sometimes when I see this card. And looking at the spread, that's kind of what I'm thinking of right now. That this may be some of you Leos out there where you are over the crap that is going on the month of February, and you are ready to just drown your sorrows away. I would not advise that if I were you, Leo. I can't stop it, but beware that you are going to possibly want to have some serious drinks throughout the month. Watch yourself. Please respect your body. If you're going to drink, hydrate after. Don't drink and drive. But the water signs represent Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, and we've got a lot of Pisces going on at the end of the month in a very intimate house. That's like the underbelly. That's a pretty weak spot. That would be an area of a gut shot, if you will. The cups normally represent as well things that emotionally fill you up, sustain you, and make you feel whole, emotionally validate you, or sustain you in some way. Something that makes your heart flutter. And I feel like you're wanting to drink because you're upset about something. And I can't help but notice this dude's wearing red. And you're a fire sign. And that's a color that I associate with fire signs. The first card in the top 3 for clarity is the 8 of Swords. You're having a lot of 8th house energy at the second half of the month. The 8 represents for me the 8th house on the astrological wheel, which is ruled by Scorpio. That's the house that you've heard me speak bunches about now. Life, death, and rebirth, transformation, metamorphosis, regeneration. It's instincts, primal, basic, or human. It's sexuality. It's regeneration. It's other people's money. It's a very intimate house. It's the highest of highs and the lowest of lows. The swords represent air sign energy. The air signs are Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. You've got Mercury, the planet of communication, moving into that 7th house that's ruled by Libra. Partnerships, communication, open enemies, possibly. And I say that because Mercury's moving into Aquarius. I said Libra, but I'm in Aquarius. Sorry. It's getting late, but I'm trying to get these done. Also notice that the character in the card, this individual is dressed in red again. Once again, I feel like this is indicative of you. This card in itself represents being trapped, but not by anyone. It's by yourself. So it's like you're self-undoing. You've done this to yourself. It could be a prison of the mind. It doesn't have to be, but it could be. But this is, there's no gate. There's no one attending to this individual who is being held captive with really loose bandages. It's not even handcuffs or anything. This is literally she or he could shake this entire situation off and look around and just walk out if they chose to, but they didn't. They blinded themselves to something in some way, and now they feel trapped possibly as well. I feel like this is involving a pregnancy for some Leos. And it's one of those things that it's shocking because it's not expected. I feel like there may be, like, for some of you Leos, there may be like a secret liaison, a secret, literally like secret lovers coming together, traveling or something to that effect, and it's kind of secretive or under wraps. And anyways, the next card up is the Queen of Pentacles, and I see her as a mother with child. It's not always, but the way that this is laid out, it feels that way. Now, mother with child doesn't necessarily have to be pregnancy. It could just be a very fertile time for you, meaning you could be making a lot of money, or you could be in high demand, something to that effect. I feel like your mind is on your money. Got a lot of 8th house energy. This pentacle here represents earth sign energy. That is Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. The opposite side of the 8th house is the 2nd house, which is ruled by Taurus. The 2nd house is that house of mine. It's my money, my possessions, my earning ability, my relationships. The house of mine, my values. Very intently paying attention to this. And another red outfit highlighting you, Leo, hanging out. I feel like the lunar eclipse is bringing forth an ending of some sort of major, whatever it is, it's going to feel major to you because it's occurring in your sign. It's in your first house. But this solar eclipse in the 8th house, I feel like, is this Queen of Pentacles right here. It could be that there's a seed planted in some way. Your partner gets a new job, or they start interviewing for a new job, or they're on the path to a new promotion. Something to that effect. If it's not that, it could be that you're looking at an inheritance or some money coming in that way. It could be that you're paying extra special attention to your money resources or possessions, the things that you hold close, the things that you want close to you. But the only thing that this individual is focused on is this pentacle, this whatever this pentacle represents for the individual. And I feel like that's going to be an 8th house matter. And it could be that you are valuing your partner's money, or there is a serious sexual attraction going on that could possibly deal with some pregnancy issues. And I say that because of the final card in the top 3 for clarity. This is the 2 of Cups. 2 speaks to that Taurus ruled house of money, values, possessions, earning ability, self-esteem. It's a house of mind. Anything you point to, classify, identify, introduce as mine would qualify under this umbrella of the 2nd house. This is the Minor Arcana Lovers card. This is seeing eye to eye, being on the same page. But I can't ignore this lion head right here. Whenever I see a lion's head, I think of you, Leo. I feel like there's going to be a meeting of the minds for you. It could be a very powerful attraction that you're dealing with. It could be a situation where you are looking at what you have and comparing it to what you want. The sort of grass is greener on the other side sort of thing. Minor Arcana Lovers card is the final card in the top 3 for clarity. It is a pretty impactful omen. This 2 up here is that counterbalance house to the 8th house. You got a 2 and an 8. I'm just saying the synchronicity is a bit much for me sometimes. So, 8 plus 2 is 10. That's the house of Capricorn. Your career, your status, reputation, dealing with authorities, authority figures, authorities in their field, or an expert. It's also the house of destiny. Your status and your reputation are things that can be changed online, like going from being single to in a relationship or domestic partnership. It could be going from being a couple to being expectant parents. It can go from being a married couple to separated, and anything on that spectrum. And my face is itching, so yeah. 10th house. It feels like these eclipses are going to play out a little bit in that 10th house arena for you. So be careful what you say and what you do. It might play out in that career house, that reputation house, that status house. It could be good, it could be bad. It depends on the aspects in your personal chart. Now, the Sage Goddess Gemstone Oracle card that I pulled for you is the Carnelian card. And it deals with courage, vitality, sexuality, and confidence. It can help heal and amplify the sacral chakra. Heal and amplify the vibrations of the sacral chakra. Carnelian is the gem form of caffeine. It puts you into overdrive, giving you the boost that you need to get things done, to manifest your dreams, and kick your sexuality into high gear. You've pulled this card because it's time to ignite your latent courage your drive, and sexuality. Meditate with carnelian for bravery, enthusiasm, and motivation. Funny how sexuality was a big part of this card. A lot of 8th house energy, and that's the house of sexuality. The Sacred Rebels Oracle card that I pulled for you has fallen about 4 times now for different readings I have done for different individuals. Do not mistake the symbology in this picture. This is the receiving card. It's the 27th card of the Sacred Rebels Oracle deck by Elena Fairchild. 2 plus 7 is 9. That speaks to the 9th house of your worldview expanded through study or travel. Venus is moving into that 9th house at the very beginning of the month. And like I said, Leo, pay attention, because where she is now, you will be re-examining throughout the months of March and April. The receiving card is indicating to you, or a message for you, that an empty vessel serves no one. This is an indication that you must take care of yourself so that you can help others. It's also requesting that you acknowledge the cycles of life and that you honor the time that you need for rest and recovery. It's an invitation to nourish yourself mentally, spiritually, and physically. Unapologetically unplug from the things around you. Even if it's for a day, allow yourself that mental break. Tend to your needs. Forget your to-do list for a day. It will be there when you're ready to tackle it. This is an invitation to be willing to receive the lessons that are around us in the themes of love, abundance, communication, and prosperity. Well, Leo, I hope that you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you already have, I thank you from the bottom of my very grateful heart. I'm going to be around in the mid-month to pull some more cards for you, but I've got to finish this series first. So I wish you much love. Please be kind to yourself during this eclipse season. You're going to feel tired. You're probably going to feel exhausted. Embrace the change that comes your way. Take care of yourself, Leo. Be kind to yourself and save some of that kindness for others, because we're all going through things in our lives some of us may never speak about to another living soul. I hope you're well. And until next time, take care, and namaste, y'all. Bye.